Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Flipside today. My name is Daisy Obaisiago. We're talking about environmental challenges in our cities. If you look around you, if you're not staying in a flooded area, especially in Benin, you're in luck. If you go outside Benin, you go to Delta States, it's not any different. Now you have waters all over destroying properties and even claiming lives. It's been on the news several times where we have issues of open drains, people falling into the drains. And then we've also had an international day that talked about plastic pollution, the chemicals that come out of these plastics, and why are drains so full of them, and why are producers using a lot of them. And then we go about talking on emissions from cars and how we can create clean gases so that the energy produced are renewable and reusable and everything is clean. So many areas of the environment, when you talk about environmental issues, there's just so many aspects to look at. But in a city today, in the urban area, there are some environmental challenges that are just peculiar to them. And today we're talking about environmental challenges in the city. I have an environmental engineer, a surveyor, in fact, it's many things. But before you meet him, we'll go on a break. When we come back, you meet him, and then we'll get talking about these environmental challenges in our cities. I'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. For those who just joined us, you've not missed much. The program is Flipside. We're just starting, and my name is Daisy Obaisiago. Before the break, I said I had a guest in the house. We call him, because that's what he is, Professor Surveyor Engineer, Ralph Gato. Good to have you on Flipside. It's been a while.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
Definitely viewers at home.
Yes. Now, he did his BSc in surveying and some other geodesy and many other things that followed. Did his masters in environmental engineering and several other things that followed. And PhD. He has written several papers in terms of geomatics, geodesy, surveying, and even environmental engineering. So whichever aspect of it you want to talk about is there. I don't like math. I don't know how people do it, but I just respect your courage. It's good to have you on Flipside.
Thank you for applauding me.
Modern challenges, several challenges in our cities today. Now, in Edo State, the first and the most common seem to be flooding.
Yeah.
And now the former administration in Edo State decided that they needed to solve this issue of flooding. And then they came up with a plan they called the Storm Water Project Plan.
Yeah.
There was a big budget for it. Foreign, international, the World Bank even supported, and the monies came and work started in earnest. And interestingly, we're seeing filled portions of even the drains now. And with the Stormwater Project, we were promised that flooding was going to be a thing of the past. But why would you, in your professional mind, with your professional eyes, why do we still have these issues of flooding persisting and even getting worse in some areas, even after the water storm projects?
Yeah, thank you, Daisy. I want to say here, the day first time we discuss this matter on this channel, I've said I've been issued that this water storm is going to fail. That was I said that at the time when Oshomole was
In power.
in power. The reason is that before you start water storm project, you need to get what I describe as geodata. The whole of Benin should be properly surveyed. We do have the planimetry and the altitude of Benin as case may be. Remember, we only have one water here. Let's go back here.
Yeah.
If you have that, the whole of survey Benin properly surveyed and demarcated, if you give it to engineer knows what to do with it. But Ochomole came and started digging ground as if we are this is rabbit. Start digging ground, and I said it's not going to fail because you carry water from Moselu, go and give to people at the Kema Road. The water Road carried somewhere. It's not going to work because holistically we have not captured Benin as entity. Before you start design, you design before you execute. It is only going to fail. Now, part of that, another thing that is happening is people are using a dumping waste on water channel, building a water channel. So it's going to be like that. It's worse. You see, if you go to city like Miami in Florida, the Miami is like city like Wadi. What they did was that it's a very beautiful city. They have artificial well. They panel the water everywhere, each zone. But when there's rain, that water will go into that well. And it's very clean. They have a way of cleaning it. It's very clean. And when the water, I say it's like they have big sea surrounding Miami. When the rain must have stopped, they will open the gate. It will flow to the river. That's it. The same thing, Houston, I was there. The same thing that I wanted to. That's why they designed it. So that any flooding, if there's rain, it will go to those zones where you have artificially paneled water. That's how it is. And very clean. You see, you can even go down and relax. The only example I've seen that time, I went to one place. I saw a crocodile, on the street. We were just relaxing by the pond side. So I have to run away. I was happy when I see that kind of thing. Like in Miami, for example, they don't have underground train because of the nature of yes. So they have their road, 1, 2, 3, excuse me, layers of roads. Because they understand what I'm telling. But in Nigeria here, what we do, we don't do anything what we like. So it's very, very quite fortunate. Like this issue, like that the Lagos was trying to say, okay, this our waste, rubber, plastic, and all that. They want to encourage, company to start doing waste management. That's one thing. In UK, as I know, if you take your waste to their council, they give you £10 for doing that. Yes.
Wow.
I'm telling you. In Nigeria here, those people carrying waste, you give them, they charge you every month. Like my house, I pay for 4,000 every month. They will not come in 2 months. But that those months, you must pay for not doing their work. I don't understand. So it's a big challenge we're having in Nigeria as a whole.
Okay, now still talking about You said something about plastic.
Yes.
Although, before I even say that much on plastic, I would be grateful to be in a society where they pay me to bring my waste to them.
Yes, yes, they pay you, yes.
We pay for everything in Nigeria. Yesterday, I went to the mall to buy something, and I was going to pay with my card. And I was told there's a new CBN policy for every cash payment you pay what you bought for exact amount, but if you're going to pay with your card, you're going to pay an additional 15 naira as CBN charge. I'm like, I don't understand. Wow, we having charges over everything. Increase VAT, increase this, increase that, increase the other thing. Everybody's just paying money, and we're not seeing as much results as we're hoping, or we hoped we're going to see when we were promised the things we were promised. We're talking about plastic. There was a full day dedicated for talks on plastic by the United Nations this year,
Yes.
because it's becoming a world problem. And many people were trying to proffer solutions to how to reduce plastic pollution. But many of us do not understand what plastic pollution is. We still buy our bottled drinks in plastic bottles. We still store things in plastic bottles. Almost everything you see in the supermarkets are in plastic, sir.
Of course.
Our toothpaste, plastic. Air cream, plastic. Body cream, plastic. Soap, plastic. Plastic bottles everywhere.
Yes.
So what exactly are the dangers of plastic being emptied into our waterways, or maybe the contents in the plastic, can they also be polluted? What are the dangers of plastic, too much use of plastic?
You see, like plastic waste, normally, if you dump it on an environment, you will find its level. I mean, the erosion will take it to our drain. Our drain is blocked. Then the water that would normally go through the drain will come to your house, because we have blocked the drain. Like I was watching one program recently in CNN. Somebody is trying to, it's a diver. He's trying want to clean the ocean in the environment. So we'll go there underground, under the sea. We'll go and remove plastic, because it's clearly having effect on the aquatic life. So apart from blocking, because now this flow we're talking about now, what is the cost? Our drains are blocked with the plastic that are not degradable.
That means they don't decay.
They don't. So if you have a company in Benin, in Auchi, in other places that can recycle that plastic for other purpose, it will be better for us. Because people will not find themselves going to look for plastic bottle to sell. You go there, you sell it maybe per kilogram, maybe you sell it, you make some living out of plastic. All this thing, if you start that, my sister, this thing will disappear from our road. Go to US, you find it. It's not there. I didn't drink water in US or in London, they have it. But you see, they are well managed. So if you manage it properly, you will not find this thing on the street, and our drain will not be blocked. Look at, like, for example, look at apart from another cause erosion is, for example, construction of road, like Auchi Road. That's my house. They're doing no drain. So people who live in Ura, for example, this time they're on their house. My street, but after my house, next week I cannot go, because it's they diverted the water from the road to the street. There should be gutter that will accommodate that water from the road. We don't have it. So now, if you see go to our road, for example, there's sand everywhere. That sand is caused by erosion and by the tire of vehicle, because our roads are not tight. Our road to our home are not tight. But in UK and US, they tie road to the dormant of your house. Once you leave your staircase or up to your house, next thing is tie road, is tied. You can't find sand. You can't. Your car will not touch sand. Some people just drive to the field. Our government, my sister, are not ready yet to solve our environmental problem.
Okay. Now, in a way to solve some of the environmental problems we have, Stormwater Project came on. It hasn't really worked much.
Yes.
It has helped some people and has made some people's life worse off.
Yes.
And then in areas like Bowo, Selushel, when there's heavy downpour, everywhere is covered with water. But interestingly, give it 30 minutes, the water goes.
Yes.
And so we don't know how that can be reduced even to maybe 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. I think that's a bit too long. But now the governor, the present administration, Governor Godwin Obaseki, says he wants to do more to help fight the issue of flooding.
Yes.
And he wants to start destroying houses that are on the waterways. There was a video on social media, it was also on the news, it made the news, of the governor versus Tony Kabaka. And his hotel was marked to be destroyed because it was on a waterway close to a moat and all that. And the man came and said he has a case and he's going to win the case because he bought the land. He went to the Ministry of Environment. He got a certificate of occupancy. If they knew that that place was not good for erecting a structure as that, why then did they give him a certificate of occupancy? So there's going to be war if anything as such happens. But do you think it's really visible? That's the best thing to do in this case, is to start destroying houses.
There are the case between, I just spoke, the case between Tony Kabaka and
the governor.
There's politics and there might be reality. You understand? I'm a politician, so I don't want to go there.
Yes.
But true is that if your land, your house is, at least if you have a moat, you give a minimum of 15 meters to the moat before building. You understand? If you violate that law, then you have yourself to blame. You understand? Because see, I always say one thing: when you give somebody to assignment, they are not looking for completion; they are looking for inspection. How do I mean? No, actually, you're supposed to do it. You are given a job to do. You do it the way it should be. But you want him to follow you up before you do that job. You understand? That's what I want this kind of inspection. So for our government officials, they don't do the right thing. They don't do what ought to be done. If you go get there, the CFO, or CFO, I'm a surveyor. And this land is on waterway. What do? You don't give approval for that. But you know how we behave. While when you're on Mamirium. At the end of the day, you put people in a mess. On the street I live, there's natural waterway, but the community chairman sold it out. So we are in a big shit. We cannot stop them. But somebody did approval. Somebody sold it out. But for me, if I'm going to buy land, maybe my training, if I look at it, I know that is a water problem I won't buy. I won't, because you suffer it. So the Tony issue is a peculiar case. I say political aspect, and if it shows that the land actually is a waterway, the need for government to do the needful and pay him compensation. That's my own view. Do the needful and compensate him for that. Because sometimes, if you are going to destroy a house for the public interest, you pay compensation for that person.
Okay, still talking about certain issues of environmental problems and the fact that our streets are so dirty. My God. Growing up, I knew Benin was a very clean, it might not really be beautiful, but a clean place. They do environmental sanitation once a month or twice a month, once a month. Yes. And then there was a task force that picks you up if it's not yet 10 o'clock and you come out. So then I remember, if you want to buy akara, we'll have to sneak so that they don't see us. Although they were not picking children, but we were just told they will catch you, they'll put you in the bus and take you away and all that. So someone also suggested recently, there was a debate, and then they said the easiest way to also solve this issue of environmental problems is to reintroduce Environmental Sanitation Day in Edo State. Markets do it. They pack their dirt and they put it along the road and wait for the sanitation companies to come pack them. But bringing environmental sanitation a full day, putting people at home on lockdown till about 10 a.m. and all that, do you really see that as a workable solution?
You see, that is not For me, my view, I don't support environmental sanitation. That's my view, personal view, because you don't have right to keep me at home for just no reason. There's no law that says, there's no Nigerian law that says, be at home from 7 o'clock to 10. You don't have that right. What do we do? Is to, now that we have government waste collector. You know, they're not efficient. In Europe, I schooled in Russia. Every 3 a.m. in the morning, they come and pick up our waste every day. Now even this road, now they will even block road. They say they are doing their work. I don't understand. You understand? Put in place efficient waste collectors and let people pay for the services you are rendered. I was with one is it Bob Williams before. We signed an agreement twice a day, twice in a week, in a month. He will not come. 2 months he will not come. He expects me to pay for those days that he didn't come. I left him. I went to with government, waste management. They come to my house. I pay 4,000 every month. They don't come. But I'm told to pay whether they are around. They will take it to court. But a professor, I'll go to court for 4,000 naira. You know, I bet you give them. But it's not a good. I told the guy, this is stealing, collecting money from people illegally, collecting money for the work you didn't do. But I had agreement twice a week, twice in a month. You will come maybe once in 3 months.
The smell.
Yes. What will I do? So do the thing. The government should put in place an efficient waste management system. Now, the other thing is, what happened to you have? Where are they going to dispose the waste? I asked the guy, what's your major problem? He said that I should ask the government where are they going to dispose the waste? You don't have people everywhere. Sometimes you see them in the bush. Sometimes I go to the bush. You see them, you put it in the bush. That will come back to us in the future. The government must be ready to provide efficient waste management system. This waste, they convert it to generate heat and turn to light, electricity. Most countries of the world. Also, our government, we are ready as a people and as a government to do the needful, to actually serve our people. Someone like Obaseki, I understand that he came from overseas and spent a lot of time in Miami, as the case may be. I don't know, those things that he's seeing there, they're not here. They're not. So this is that thing. Government will come and give me more promises. They don't actually actualize it. Waste management, people are doing waste management and benefiting from it overseas. But here, they block your road. I've been to so many countries of the world. I don't see where they collect waste in the afternoon. You don't even know when they will collect. Like, because I was a student, I will be reading. 3 o'clock, ma'am. Once I hear that, I know that it's 3 o'clock. Look at that, 3 o'clock. Every day. Both snow, both winter and summer. And the city I was, to get out minus 40, minus 45 degrees during a winter. They are there picking the distance. You just have a machine, you pick it, bam, they go. But here, they will block the road, say that they are picking waste. You are doing your job. You are doing your job where you will be paid. You block the road. Somebody do construction. Like I was talking to somebody with ROCC the other time, I said, my friend, this job you are doing, you are being paid. I'm going to my job, you are going to my office, you are blocking me. Why don't I do it at night? That would look like me. Somebody do it at night. I'm blocking. I know government is going to pay for the service you are rendering. Then why you put people in a mess? Because you want to do road. What kind of rubbish is that? So you have all this kind of thing you are seeing here. After this country, you can't try it. We all know that. What I have you to block my road? When I pay my taxpayer, the money, the work you are doing, you are going to pay for it. You block it from going to work. Because you are doing which don't. You've got a fortune, my sister.
Okay, environmental challenges in our cities. That is what we're talking about. Apart from all of this, we still have issues of land encroachment. Yes, we cited Tony Kabaka's case briefly, and it's a little bit tending towards land encroachment until actually proven that it was encroaching. We would not say it is yet. But there are several clear cases of such. And what's the right place to erect certain structures? A factory, a stadium, marketplaces. Why is the planning of our cities just done? If there's even planning, why is it just scattered? Well, we'll give you a little free planning today, a free plan for that before we can. Okay, we'll go on a break, but we'll come back from the break. We'll answer this and help you with a little more questions that are bothering you. I can sense it, so I'll help ask the questions before we leave finally on Flipside. We'll be right back.
Nigeria, are you ready for the 15th edition of Miss ITV Hot Legs Nigeria Beauty Pageant and ITV Radio Fashion on the Runway 2019? Are you pretty, good looking, intelligent, and you've got what it takes to be the next Miss ITV Hot Legs Nigeria Beauty Queen? Then go get your form now. The first 20 persons to go to independent television and radio, Glasses Airport Road, or purely event House of Model, number 10 Ehagbe Street off Ekewa Road, Benin City. Get their form for free. Wow, what are you waiting for? Celebrating 15 years of Miss ITV Hot Legs Nigeria Beauty Pageant 2019 and be the local winner of a car and other fantastic prizes. ITV Radio Fashion on the Runway 2019. Are you a fashion designer? Do you run a fashion school? Do you run a fashion boutique? Then go get your form now for 5,000 naira to contest for ITV Fashion on the Runway 2019 and win our fantastic prizes and lots of consolation prizes.
Chairman on the occasion, Barrister Case Rabo, constitutional and human rights lawyer.
Audition date Friday 8 November 2019. Venue Exquisite Home 2, Iyama Road, GRA, Benin City. Time 10 a.m. Dress code black tank top on a blue jean. Grand finale date December 1st. Venue Eluria Hall and Suite, Sabalo Road, Benin City. Miss ITV Hot Leg Nigeria Beauty Pageant. It's getting bigger and better. Get set for the Keep Walking edition.
This event is supported by Oviomu Foundation, helping to build a better society through numerous platforms.
Vive La Vive Boutique, sales of female and children clothing, shoes, bags and other accessories. 11A, West Uber Road, After Water Resources, and located at Market Square, Sapele Road, Benin City. Fortune Skincare, 61 Adesua Grammar School Road, off Bob by Water Resources. The Bliss Hotel and Suites, 163 Punch Home Motel Road, Benin City. And the Model Cooking Gas, 247 FM Way, Benin City. Wesley Premium Table Water, number 2, Wesley Street, Oka Community, off Benin Sapele Road, Benin City. Honorable Michael Izomo, CEO, St. Izomo Farm Organization. Ogbe Motors Nigeria Limited, 202 Sapele Road, Benin City. Global Foods and Cinemas, 59 Urubi Street, Benin City. Samotaka Generators and Electronics, number 66 Wire Road, Benin City.
For sponsorship and participation, call this number 080-5656-3675 or 080-5673-3170. Miss ITV Hot Leg Nigeria Beauty Pageant. Discover the beauty in you. Miss ITV Radio Fashion on the Runway. Fabrics, needle and thread, creativity at its best.
The Utide is here again.
Oh Lord, our eyes are on you.
So,
Shower your blessings. But God does not come down. He sends his vessels.
Yeah, ITV Radio presents the Somebody Dating Father Christmas, aka Father Blessing, to shower gift this season.
Kindly invite ITV and Radio Somebody Dating Father Christmas, aka Father Blessing, to put smiles on the faces of your children. Visitation commences November 2019.
We hereby call on schools, churches, and corporate organizations to make their booking now, as visitation is on first come, first served basis.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
For book booking, call 0708 365 2474.
ITV and Radio Sambali dating Father Christmas. Shower your blessings.
Thank you for rejoining us. For those who've been watching, for those who just joined us, welcome. And thank you for joining us. The program is here on independent television, and it's going on still on terrestrial and on cable television, Go TV and StarTimes. And it's streaming live on YouTube as well. So immediately after the program, you missed out on any part, you can actually watch again on YouTube. We're talking about environmental challenges in our cities, and there's several of them. I have a professor, an engineer, a surveyor in the house, and is an environmental engineer, a surveyor obviously from the title, and he does everything that deals with the environment and several other things on the side. So before the break, we talked about several things, but I want to talk about solving the issue of aesthetics and land encroachments and the placement of some buildings in the city. In Benin, are some of the buildings, major buildings, landmark buildings, properly placed professionally, like the palace of the monarch? That location, is that the best place it could be? A market at the city center, do you think that's a very wise one? And even the stadium, because I imagine when there's a big event, maybe there's a football match at the stadium and everybody's there, the roads leading to it, which is actually the road leading to several other places, always have this jam pack. So should the stadium be in the city center or in the outskirts of town? So what the placements of our building, because we want to talk about aesthetics, I think this also comes into play in this. So how would you rate the arrangement of especially these major places I just said in Benin?
Like, for example, first of all, the palace, for example. You know, Benin started from there.
Yes.
So it was from there Benin started expanding. So you can't actually really query that
location
because Benin started from that place. So Benin was a small community before. New Sele, for example, was not part of Benin. Understand?
Yes. So
Benin is demarcated by what they call the moat. So actually, Benin started from the palace. So you can't really question that. And the prayer location of our stadium now, it was Asket. Yes, that's at then. So development came, you know, I took it to October from there. But actually, when I was told that our governor was renovating the stadium, what caught my mind was that why can't this man move this stadium out of that place to further places aside Benin City, so that development will not go towards that area. Because what they are doing there now, I think the stadium, in my view, should have been relocated. Because you can see that stadium is quite old, number one. The road network there, you know how it is. So when there's little, like or even the rally. There was a rally, that place is jam packed because the place is fully developed now. So I have been to Arsenal Stadium. I've been to Chelsea Stadium in UK. I've been to Wembley Stadium. Most cases, because of their technology, they have underground train. They have underground. They have underground that train that will get there. You don't pass underground to the stadium.
Access it.
So it decongest the place. I can explain to be. Most people once they are through watching the match, they go through underground to the train station, and they are on off to the way they are going to. So that is it. So, but actually, when you are designing, the stage of designing city or community activity, the first stage is The community, so I have a place like maybe Chajalona, for example. There's one particular area that need to be developed. The first thing is that the owner or the community will take you around. The surveyor will do the survey called perimeter survey around. After perimeter survey, you give it to a town planner. A town planner will design all the facilities. It is not the responsibility of a surveyor to do the design of a city. That is the truth. I won't say it, but I'm a surveyor. When after design that city or that community, where it will be, there will be market road, anyone people can come in from different. There will be school at one end, and other places. There will be road, there will be hospital, all this thing. You now give, he will sign that this is my design. You now give that same design back to a surveyor, who now lay it out the way it is on the design, the way it is on from the map to the ground. That's how it is done. But you see, the community, because of greed, they don't want to spend money, go and look for a quack surveyor who doesn't know what he's doing. That surveyor will be the one who will do this perimeter, who will do design. That is not your field. Yes, we are taught how to do it, but professionally, it is not your responsibility. There are people who are trained as town planner to do it. There's one player in Onitsha. If you are going to Opiweka, if you are going towards Enugu, the houses there, they have equal height. That's what they call zonation. That's what they call it, zonation. The houses, they have equal height. You go to Abroad, you see it too. So it is their work. So when, after the design and layout, for example, I want to build, if it's such that this zone will have 2-story building, it should be so. If it's that this zone will have 8-story building, it will be so. If you go to advanced country, you see some area you have long building. That's the design. If you have long building, what that means that like eight floors. Like when I was in Russia, our floor about 20 floors.
Wow.
You understand? But the other houses are close to be far away. You understand? So that there is parking space, you can come out and take air. There will be street, there is well planned. So those are the things which I already tell my colleague, don't take the job of your colleague. The surveyor do survey land. Architect do design of building. They're not builders. They do design of building. They have buildings of the technologies. We have civil engineers who construct. But here, somebody who is a surveyor has to have a colleague, some colleague who are surveyor. They do your layout, they do your the design, they do the beauty for you. And you don't know what is state of material. And there are people who are trained to do that for you. So those are the things. So challenges of not using the right professional. There's one time here I came with Gina Jonathan to discuss building collapse.
Yes.
So those are the things. When you don't use the correct and right professional, you fall into trouble. When I was building the house I was now, the cantilever came out. I was there with a shell. I said, this guy, I said, this guy, this thing will fail. He said, no. He said, I said, where is the external beam? Because they have done the deck before I came. I was offshore when I did the decking. Where is the external beam? He said, oh God, we see us. Okay. I said, quiet. He started
taking it up.
Take collapse. I said, I told you. I said, I told you. But I'm not an architect, but I know that you don't know it because you don't have the training of reinforcement. That's engineering work. You don't know it. I have to send that packing out of my site. Yes. So you must use the right professional to do your job. That thing had happened taught me a lot of things. if I'm doing anything, if I advise you, you just I'll say that to my side. If I say that to my side, that time I will have that kind of problem. Understand? And somebody almost died. Somebody almost died. So, those are one of those things. So, we must learn how to use the correct professional to do the right thing. Like the study we were talking about, I went there one day. I saw the way they are doing reinforcement. The reinforcement, they want to roof if you saw that, so that when there's rain, you took from the road. Why can you? I challenge the engineer who did that. How can you do reinforcement like that? Why can you? They now beam the reinforcement. Why do you do it? That what do you crack the wall? There will be beam from to have some curve that will take the load. You went and took the road that say so enough. I take it from it. Look, I said, who did this kind of thing? Just like when Osuba was here, governor of our state, they would have put an about at first junction. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. I said, who is this engineer that give advice to this man? When I put an about at first junction, second junction. These are the issue. So the correct thing all the time, we start looking for any advantage. Let us do it, and the country will move forward.
Okay. Now, you did say something about building collapse. That's a topic we've treated some years ago on Flipside. And recently, there have been fire outbreaks in marketplaces. It started with the spare parts market, and there were promises made that, wait, that's not what we're talking about on Flipside today. We don't know what's happening to the promises. Now, Santana Market has also gotten a fair share of it, and the part of the market that even got burnt. I was going to church on Sunday, and I could still see the flames. And it was so painful that it was the parts where the most expensive things were sold in the market that got burned, that got razed. And apart from fire, flooding, and all the many environmental crises, building collapse, what do you say we can do to revamp our emergency agencies? Because there are emergency management teams that are supposedly put in place to support and help and provide relief to victims in cases like this, environmental hazards like this when they happen. But they are almost not known in Benin City. There's a fire, you're going to wait forever to get water. And there's flooding, you're going to wait forever to get it drained. In fact, you have to wait for nature to help you drain it out of your house and all that. So what can we do to revamp our emergency management agencies so that they can give us swift response and we'll all be better for it?
Like the case of this fire incident in Benin City. I think, in my view, because most time we don't have light. And by the time they will come up with light, the voltage might be so high that the owner of that property will not be able to put out the fire. To put off because if there is spark, for example, by the time you remove the plug, what do you call it, for the switch, there is one thing they
fuse.
Fuse. If you remove it, the fire will go off. But rather the source of fire. Because when you put off that source of fire, the one at home, it will go. That's natural. For electricity, fires. But in most cases, you are not there. There was a day in my house, I was outside. It came with the high voltage. The thing was the cable started burning. What it was, I removed the fuse. So it stopped. Like I told my security man, if you hear anything, please, because I have to bring the fuse outside, please remove the fuse. Because that is the source. That's the first approach to fire. Because if there is fire, for example, you don't start like when we were shell, we had the training. When you are aiming your fire extinguisher, you go to the base. That's the source of fire. So if in this case, the source of because if they put off the power from the source, it will go off naturally. But if you are still on, and when it entered your house, you have not removed the fuse, there's still power.
Yes.
So when you remove the fuse, it will go off naturally. So emergency situation, how do we get awareness? I see the number they wrote there. Sometimes it's too long. How can you remember? If it's like 3, 4 numbers, like 111 or 123, it's easy, anybody will know it. You can even call. Even if you are not there, you can even make a call for your neighbor. Say, look, oh, this is burning. But how do you remember level numbers that you don't call normally? So those are the things that our government is looking at. Emergency situation, what number would we call? There will be a center, 24 hours working, 24 hours, 247.
Response.
Yes. Sometimes they will come, they will bring water in the I saw the water, sometimes I might see the tanker at the ring road back there, you know. But then you call them, you won't find them. Because some people are given job, but they don't want to do their job. And the benefit of bad worker is never to be given a conscience. Send him away. But if you don't do that, wow. If ring road to supply road is not too far, if they call that place, if maybe it can be midnight.
The road is motorable.
It's motorable. You can call description. What do you call it? The market. Western market is a popular place. You will get there and help the situation, help solve the situation. But if the people who are in charge are not there at the time you are calling, what happens?
No help.
So those are the things. I understand that even if the federal government has spent a lot of money recently on to acquire some of this the equipment, but how are we using them? Some of them is, I don't know we will service. If you see the truck for emergency, for example, should be very sound and ready to do and be ready at all time. That's what the thing. That's the thing. In Shell, we do fire drilling. Once there is, you will know, you'll be in the office working when we're in Shell. They will press one button. It will be, there will be noise everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's
running out.
running out. Then the safety officer will call. The man is not going to be told that there's drill. Because when we were in the Jeba Shell, the fire machine was under precaution. They won't tell the driver or they won't tell the manager that how we treat today. When they press the button, everybody will have a mastery point, everybody will be there. They will call them. You will see them coming with speed. Yes, and there's no fire. So when they come, they say, tell us a drill. And they see as normal. And that thing put them on their toe. What here? So those are the management team. Emergency team should be managed properly so that you can now after that they do what's called drill analysis. They know the time it will take for you to come from that place to that place. Did you meet the time? If you don't meet the time, you are in trouble. What were you doing? Yes. They do analysis. The time of takeoff, time of arrival. They do it. So, and you know that when you beat the time, your jobs is on your line. So you get seated. Driver will the man who's a fire vehicle driver, he will drinking beer somewhere at home.
Oh my God, environmental challenges in our cities. That's what we've been talking about on Flipside today. In the many discussions, we've given solutions already. We've identified them. Water is a blessing. Farmers are happy when it rains because there will be an abundance of food. There are even several aspects of environmental issues that we've not talked about. Even food waste is one of them. You know, we waste the food that the environment gives to us and we use it to also litter the environment. The only good thing about food is they decay and add manure, but we don't want the foods decaying in our tarred, coal-tarred roads. We don't want those there. But regardless of the other issues that we've not talked about, if we're not taking on any other thing today, we're taking on the fact that we can reuse and renew some of this waste that are being produced and dumped in our waterways, blocking our drains. A company should be set up. Yes, we've been saying privatization, government should let go of some things so that private owners can get involved, but the private ones who have come in are not actually meeting up to standard. They are doing things and nothing is really happening. So we need a better regulation of things, and then we need companies who are ready to work and make money and give good work to come into this renewable energy business in Edo State. We have so much waste that you can manage and use and blow if you want to blow, not just Yahoo blowing. And apart from all of this, we also want our emergency agencies to sit up. This is raining season coming to an end. The hot times are coming real soon, and everywhere is going to be dry. We're talking about fire in rainy season. Just imagine fire when everywhere is all dry. We need to do all we can. All hands must be on deck. Even you as an individual, you need to learn a thing or two about safety, about first aid, and you need to have your own fire extinguisher. Help yourself even before the government helps you. I'm Daisy Obaise. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be here again next week. Bye for now.